Government is upping the ante in the fight against gender-based violence. The National Institute Community Development and Management has organized a men's march next month to highlight the scourge. The event is part of the centenary celebrations of Madiba's life, and joining us for more on the story is the Acting Director General of the GCIS, Phumla Williams. Good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining us here on Afro Worldview.
Good morning, Abigail, and good morning to the viewers of AfroView.
Thank you. So we do know that gender-based violence is a huge issue in our country. It has been for a number of years now. Femicide is another issue that we've been battling with fiercely over the last couple of months. Talk us through the importance of this 100-man march and what the objective is behind that.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think let me start off by the name itself, 100-men march. This year, I think we'd like to remind South Africans that we're celebrating the centenary of the stalwarts of this country, Tata Madiba and Mamu Nontsikelelo. And I think it's particularly important in this march because these are the stalwarts who have spent their entire life fighting for the rights of South Africans, not men, but South Africans as a whole, and women in particular, and children. I think Tata Madiba and Mamu Sisulu, people will remember in the history that they had a particular interest in the rights of the children, but also in the rights of women. So this march is a march which is a call to action by the President, Cyril Ramaphosa, who says it cannot be allowed to happen, because we believe the scourge of violence against women and children, and it's not all men who are doing it. And I think the march is those peace-loving men who have sacrificed their 3 hours, who will be sacrificing their 3 hours on the 10th and going out to raise the awareness. But Abigail, I think what we want to say is that the march itself is, yes, it's an awareness, but I think we're hoping that with the partnership we have with the members of the media, we will be going out there in our print, in our broadcasting, to talk to those men who still are battling with the issues of violating the rights of women and children. We are partnering with a number of organizations that are in the space. We will be providing a lot of material to arm the men who are saying this will not happen in our names. And we want to say after that, they will leave with a package of saying, if I know of a man who is battling with this issue, they will do something to empower them. So basically, that's what we want to do. It's an awareness, but also to educating South Africans.
We appreciate that creation of awareness, but let's focus more on the education part, because I think that is of utmost importance. It's great to see thousands and thousands of people, going into the streets of the country, united against a certain issue that the country is battling with. But let's focus on education and how we are going to come together and make sure that the message is heard, the message is understood, and that progress can be made. What are those steps we need to take?
I'm glad you're raising that, because this march is not only about marching, it is also meant to educate. I think there are a number of NGOs that we're partnering with, which are doing brilliant work in trying to change society. They are providing support system to the victims, but also they are doing a lot of workshops in communities to try and change the patriarchal system that we have, because I think what is of concern to us is that some of the cases that we're reading or viewing, it's young boys that probably are battling with how to deal with the relationships. And I think we've got organizations that are doing that. In this march, they will be coming with their pamphlets, they will be coming with material that we're hoping these men who will be marching, they will come out armed with this material. They are doing a lot of work in prisons, because at the end of the day, some of them, yes, they've been arrested, they've been sentenced, but at some point in their life, they are going to come back and be integrated back into society. Some of these NGOs have given themselves a task of saying, yes, you are serving your sentence, but if there's anything that we want to do whilst you are there, is to assist you, to integrate you back into society and respect human beings, because women at the end of the day, they are part of society and they are human beings. So this march is a whole combination of that, to educate, to raise the awareness, but to also appeal to a young man out there who is saying, you know what, they are talking to me, what do I need to do? We will be publicizing the numbers, we will be launching an online pledge. The whole idea is to pump enough information to South Africans of saying you can do something. It is not okay to say the only task can be only done by the police, but we are saying you are a man in your house, you've got a boy child, what is it that you are doing to educate that young man? You are a father in the family, you've got a lot of boys in that family. What is it that you are doing to empower them to know how to manage their relationship? Because a lot of them, they're battling how to manage relationship with girls. Mm-hmm. And if there's anything that you can do as a man is to say, I will march, but I will also come out and do something, even in my small space, whether it's in the family, extended family, because a lot of us, Abigail, we believe in one way or another, we know someone who's in distress. We know a man who is actually battling with relationship issues. We know of a woman who is battling in a relationship where she doesn't know what to do. And what we want to do is to say that package that we will be putting together is to be able to assist you and me or any man who is out there who says, what can I do going forward? So it is a match, but it is a match that is packaged such that it remains with a package of information that will be distributed there, but also in our website.
Definitely awareness coupled with education. But I just want to focus on one of the issues, and it's something that you mentioned briefly earlier as well. You speak of the boy child, you speak of men and their behavior, but I think it is important for us to sort of dispel this myth that it's only men who partake in this sort of violence against children, for example. What is the woman's role here, and where does the woman fit in here? Absolutely,
you're correct. But I think the angle that we took of trying to get men to be in the forefront, I think you will agree with me and everybody that the majority of violent cases that have been reported were perpetrated by men. But in as far as what is it that I can do as a woman, of course, a lot can be done by women, because we bring up these boys, we bring up these young men. In one way or the other, we should empower ourselves in knowing how to bring up a young boy, because some of it is not only left to a father, but you as a mother, you can do something in empowering your young boy in how to negotiate relationships. It starts at the primary school. To say you are a man, you should fight back. I think that's not how you want to bring up, because we don't do that with a girl. When you have a problem, we always say, go and report to the teacher. But why should we be saying to a boy, you are a man, my boy, you must fight back, you must actually return. I think we need to learn also ourselves. That is why I think a lot of these dialogues that are organized by these NGOs, and I think the partnership we've started with government, we wanted to proceed and to go forward. We've got all these 9 provincial offices. We want to partner with the NGOs who are doing these dialogues, because yes, you're correct, it doesn't end with educating men only, but it must also go in educating ourselves, and in also educating ourselves that we are women in distress. What do I want to do? And that's why I started by saying this much, we're hoping out there, as the media will be publicizing, there will be a woman out there that we can save, who will know that she has a power to move out in that relationship. We are hoping a man out there who will be watching this match, she will also interrogate himself and say, you know what, I think this is not right what I'm doing to my family. I need to go out and get help. If we can achieve that with this match, I think we've gone a long way in making a contribution, because basically what the president is saying, all of us have a responsibility to save our society.
Definitely. How do we get involved? How do we attend? Can anyone just show up on the day? Where do they go? Just provide us those details, please.
We want everyone who is a peace-loving and who is just as concerned to come out and join the march. It's on the 10th of July at this Church Square in Pretoria. We will be moving from there to the southern lawn, where we will finish off with the prayer. We are having church leaders who we have invited. We've invited various sectors. We've invited the public service. We've invited the NGOs. We've invited the various industries in the public sector, because we believe all of us in our various sectors, even the media, they are saying, yes, we will be covering the event, but we also want to come as editors to make a contribution, because we believe all of us in our various sectors, we are in one way or the other affected by the violence against violence on women and children.
Definitely. A couple of days ago, I had the opportunity to chat to the MEC of Community Safety, and we had discussions around these issues, you know, violence against women and children, femicide, and all of those issues. What are some of the other initiatives that government will be getting involved in to ensure that we beat this scourge and we make it out on the other side?
I think you'll be aware that as government, we're very much involved in the safety of the children. I think I don't have the statistics with me. There's a lot of work that we have done in trying to re-engineer some of our police stations so that they are conducive when women come and report violence. And we also have a lot of Tutuzela centers that we've put in place so that women who are in distress, they can also come and be provided with that kind of a support. We've got a toll-free number that we also partner with the private sector, that at any given time, 24/7, if you want to call, you can call the number and get assistance. So we do a lot of that, but also going forward, we are going to do a lot of partnership in doing these dialogues. We've been doing the dialogues as GCIS, as government communication, but I think what we've realized with this march, the more we collaborate, the more impactful we will be. And a lot of these NGOs, they have been doing a lot of this dialogue and these inter-educational programs. But I think what we want to do going forward is to partner with them and just punt more education, because the arrest is after the fact. And I think what we want to do is to stop it before it even starts.
Sure.
And that you can only do it by educating. And I think that's what we want to do going forward, is doing a lot of educational work among the young people and also among the society as a whole. For instance, I mean, it's not uncommon to hear somebody say, I've always heard in this, my neighbor, there's always screams on Fridays and whatever. But we want to talk to those neighbors to say, it cannot be okay to keep quiet. There is something that you can do without endangering yourself. There is a toll-free number. It can be okay that you are seeing a child and you suspect there is something wrong with that child. There is a child line number. You can phone to say there is a child and I suspect there is an abuse on that child. So we want to empower society to say they can do something to stop the violence on women and children.
Definitely. And just that date again.
It's on the 10th, and we will be starting at 10 o'clock at the Church Square, and we will be moving to the Union Building.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time this morning and creating awareness around this very, very important issue. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
It's our pleasure. That was the Acting Director General of the GCIS, Phumla Williams, talking to us about this 100-men march that will be taking place on the 10th of this month. It will be starting at 10 a.m. at Church Square in Pretoria, fighting against the scourge of women and child abuse. This is something that we will continue to chat about during our broadcasts today. But get involved. We all have a responsibility to fight against the scourge of women and child abuse.